Land reclamation, usually known as reclamation, and also known as landfill, is the process of creating new land from ocean, riverbeds, or lakebeds. The land reclaimed is known as reclamation ground or landfill. In a number of other jurisdictions, including parts of the United States, the term reclamation can refer to returning disturbed lands to an improved state. In Alberta, Canada, for example, reclamation is defined by the provincial government as the process of reconverting disturbed land to its former or other productive uses. In Oceania, it is frequently referred to as land rehabilitation. Methods. Land reclamation can be achieved with a number of different methods. The most simple method involves simply filling the area with large amounts of heavy rock or cement, then filling with clay and dirt until the desired height is reached. The process is called infilling, and the material used to fill the space is generically called infill. Draining of submerged wetlands is often used to reclaim land for agricultural use. Deep cement mixing is used typically in situation in which the material displaced by either dredging or draining may be contaminated and hence needs to be contained. Habitation. The creation of new land was for the need of human activities. Notable examples include large parts of the Netherlands, much of the coastlines of mainland China, Hong Kong, North Korea and South Korea. It is estimated that nearly 65% of tidal flats around the Yellow Sea have been reclaimed. Inland lowlands in the Yangtze Valley, China, including the areas of important cities like Shanghai and Wuhan. Large parts of Rio de Janeiro, most notably several blocks in the New Docks area, the entire Flamengo Park and the neighbourhood of Urquhart. Parts of Dublin, Ireland, most of Belfast Harbour and areas of Belfast, Northern Ireland, parts of St. Petersburg, Russia, such as the Marine Facade, parts of New Orleans, parts of Montevideo, Uruguay, Rambla Sur and several projects still going on in Montevideo's bay. Much of the urbanized area adjacent to San Francisco Bay, including most of San Francisco's waterfront and financial district, the Port of Oakland, and large portions of the city of Alameda has been reclaimed from the bay. A part of the Hamad International Airport in Qatar, around 36 square kilometers. The entire island of the Pearl Qatar situated in West Bay, Qatar. Mexico City. Parts of Panama City urban and street development are based on reclaimed land, using material extracted from Panama Canal excavations. Helsinki. The foreshore in Cape Town. The Chicago shoreline. The Northwestern University Lakeville, part of the campus of Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois. The Hassan II Mosque in Morocco is built on reclaimed land. Barceloneta area, Barcelona, in Spain. Back Bay, Boston, Massachusetts. Battery Park City, Manhattan. Liberty State Park, Jersey City. The Port of Zeebrugge in Belgium. The Southwestern Residential Area in Brest, Belarus. The Toronto Islands, Leslie Street Spit, and the waterfront in Toronto. Part of Nuns Island and all of Isle Notre Dame in Montreal. Most of Fontvieille, Monaco. Parts surrounding Port Hercules in La Condamine, Monaco. The Airport Peninsula, the industrial area of Cornigliano, the PSA container terminal and other parts of the port in Genoa, Italy. The Fens in East Anglia. Haikou Bay, Hainan Province, China, where the west side of Haidian Island is being extended, and off the coast of Haikou City, where new land for a marina is being created. The Cotai Strip in Macau, where most of the major casinos are located. Nagoya Central Airport, Japan. Incheon International Airport, Korea. Beirut Central District, Lebanon. Major parts of the city of Mumbai, India. The southern Chinese city of Shenzhen. The shore of Manila Bay in the Philippines, especially along Metro Manila, has attracted major developments such as the Mall of Asia complex, Entertainment City and the Cultural Center of the Philippines complex. The city-state of Singapore, where land is in short supply, is also famous for its efforts on land reclamation. The Palm Islands, the World and Hotel Burj Al Arab off Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. The Sinter Coast era, in Panama City, Panama. The Yas Island in Abu Dhabi, UAE. The Echo Atlantic in Lagos, Nigeria. The Potter's Cay in Nassau, the Bahamas was connected to the island of New Providence. The shore of Nassau, the Bahamas, especially along East Bay Street. Hulu Malay Island, Maldives. It is one of the 6 divisions of Malay City. One of the earliest large-scale projects was the Beemster polder in the Netherlands, realized in 1612, adding 70 square kilometers of land. In Hong Kong, the Praia Reclamation Scheme added 20 to 24 hectares of land in 1890 during the second phase of construction. It was one of the most ambitious projects ever taken during the colonial Hong Kong era. Some 20% of land in the Tokyo Bay Area has been reclaimed, most notably Odaiba Artificial Island. La Portia, Monaco and Gibraltar are also expanding due to land reclamation. The city of Rio de Janeiro was largely built on reclaimed land, as was Wellington, New Zealand. Artificial islands are an example of land reclamation. Creating an artificial island is an expensive and risky undertaking. It is often considered in places with high population density and a scarcity of flat land. Kansai International Airport and Hong Kong International Airport are examples where this process was deemed necessary. The Palm Islands, the World and Hotel Burj Al Arab off Dubai in the United Arab Emirates are other examples of artificial islands, as well as the Flevopolder in the Netherlands, which is the largest artificial island in the world. Agriculture. Agriculture was a drive for land reclamation before industrialization. In South China, farmers reclaimed paddy fields by enclosing an area with a stone wall on the seashore near river mouth or river delta. The species of rice that grow on these grounds are more salt-tolerant. Another use of such enclosed land is creation of fish ponds. It is commonly seen on the Pearl River Delta in Hong Kong. These reclamation also attracts species of migrating birds. A related practice is the draining of swampy or seasonally submerged wetlands to convert them to farmland. While this does not create new land exactly, it allows commercially productive use of land that would otherwise be restricted to wildlife habitat. It is also an important method of mosquito control. Even in the post-industrial age, there have been land reclamation projects intended for increasing available agricultural land. For example, the village of Ogata in Akita, Japan, was established on land reclaimed from Lake Ashirigata starting in 1957. By 1977, the amount of land reclaimed totaled 172.03 square kilometers. Beach restoration. Beach rebuilding is the process of repairing beaches using materials such as sand or mud from inland. This can be used to build up beaches suffering from beach starvation or erosion from longshore drift. It stops the movement of the original beach material through longshore drift and retains a natural look to the beach. Although it is not a long-lasting solution, it is cheap compared to other types of coastal defenses. Landfill. As human overcrowding of developed areas intensified during the 20th century, it has become important to develop land reuse strategies for completed landfills. Some of the most common usages are for parks, golf courses and other sports fields. Increasingly, however, office buildings and industrial uses are made on a completed landfill. In these latter uses, methane capture is customarily carried out to minimize explosive hazard within the building. An example of a Class A office building constructed over a landfill is the Dakin Building at Sierra Point, Brisbane, California. The underlying fill was deposited from 1965 to 1985, mostly consisting of construction debris from San Francisco and some municipal wastes. Aerial photographs prior to 1965 show this area to be tidelands of the San Francisco Bay. A clay cap was constructed over the debris prior to building approval. A notable example is Sydney Olympic Park, the primary venue for the 2000 Summer Olympic Games, which was built atop an industrial wasteland that included landfills. Another strategy for landfill is the incineration of landfill trash at high temperature via the plasma arc gasification process, which is currently used at 2 facilities in Japan, and will be used at a planned facility in St. Lucie County, Florida. Environmental impact. Draining wetlands for plowing, for example, is a form of habitat destruction. In some parts of the world, new reclamation projects are restricted or no longer allowed, due to environmental protection laws. Environmental legislation. The state of California created a state commission, the San Francisco Bay Conservation and Development Commission, in 1965 to protect San Francisco Bay and regulate development near its shores. The commission was created in response to growing concern over the shrinking size of the bay. Hong Kong legislators passed the Protection of the Harbour Ordinance, proposed by the Society for Protection of the Harbour, in 1997 in an effort to safeguard the increasingly threatened Victoria Harbour against encroaching land development. Several large reclamation schemes at Green Island, West Kowloon, and Kowloon Bay were subsequently shelved, and others reduced in size. Dangers. Reclaimed land is highly susceptible to soil liquefaction during earthquakes, which can amplify the amount of damage that occurs to buildings and infrastructure. Subsidence is another issue, both from soil compaction on filled land, and also when wetlands are enclosed by levees and drained to create polders. Drained marshes will eventually sink below the surrounding water level, increasing the danger from flooding. Land amounts added. Bangladesh, about 110 square kilometers in total, and has 12,000 square kilometers potential up to 12 meters depth in the territorial sea area. Netherlands, about 1/6 of the entire country, or about 7,000 square kilometers in total, has been reclaimed from the sea, lakes, marshes and swamps. South Korea, as of 2006, 38% or 1,550 square kilometers of coastal wetlands reclaimed, including 400 square kilometers at Simanjeom, Songdo International Business District. The largest private development in history is a large-scale reclamation project built entirely on tidal mudflats. Singapore, 20% of the original size or 135 square kilometers. As of 2003, plans for 99 square kilometers more are to go ahead, despite the fact that disputes persist with Malaysia over Singapore's extensive land reclamation works. Hong Kong. Praia Reclamation Scheme began in the late 1860s and consisted of 2 stages totaling 20 to 24 hectares. Hong Kong Disneyland, Hong Kong International Airport, and its predecessor, Kai Tak Airport, were all built on reclaimed land. In addition, much reclamation has taken place in prime locations on the waterfront on both sides of Victoria Harbour. This has raised environmental issues of the protection of the harbour, which was once the source of prosperity of Hong Kong. Traffic congestion in the Central District, as well as the collusion of the Hong Kong government with the real estate developers in the territory. In addition, as the city expands, new towns in different decades were mostly built on reclaimed land, such as Tu and Mun, Tai Po, Sha Tin Ma on Shan, West Kowloon, Kwun Tong and Sung Kwan O. Macau, 170% of the original size or 17 square kilometers. Mumbai, and archipelago of originally 7 separate islands were joined together by land reclamation over a span of 5 centuries. This was done to develop Mumbai as a harbour city. Monaco, 0.41 square kilometers out of 2.05 square kilometers, or 1/5 of Monaco, comes from land taken from the sea, mainly in the neighborhoods of Fontvier, La Condamine, and La Boteau, Bar Moulins. Tokyo Bay, Japan 249 square kilometers including the entirety of Odaiba Artificial Island. Kobe, Japan 23 square kilometers. Bahrain 76.3% of original size of 410 square kilometers. New Zealand, significant areas of land totaling several hundred hectares have been reclaimed along the harbourfront of Auckland, Wellington and Dunedin. In Dunedin, which in its early days was nicknamed Mudadine, around 2.5 square kilometres, including much of the inner city and suburbs of Dunedin North, South Dunedin and Andersons Bay is reclaimed from the Otago Harbour, and a similar area in the suburbs of St Clair and St Kilda is reclaimed swampland. Dubai, UAE. Dubai has a total of 4 reclaimed islands, with a 5th under construction.